folks, welcome to my channel, and thank you for tuning in again. And the Nintendo Switch is coming out March 3rd, so I figured right now would be a good time to, for one thing, discuss Nintendo, obviously, but in addition to that, discussing the trends for video game collectors, those that are actually, they would like to build a good collection of rare titles that will be worth something someday, or those that are just fans that intend on holding on to those titles for as long as they live. But right now, with the dawn of the Switch coming out, now is a time in which I've been really buying a lot of Wii U titles lately. For one thing, I know the fact that Wii U has only sold like 13 million units, so there's not much of an install base there. So that off the bat tells me that immediately these Wii U titles in the future will be worth something, And oftentimes at the end of a console's lifespan, the interest is completely, if not entirely, diminished, You go to some local retailers and you'll see a lot of the games in the bargain bins. I remember once I found a copy of Super Bomberman 2, completely sealed for the Super Nintendo for like $3 at Walmart, I remember when the Sega Saturn was going out of style, I also got a lot of those games, and nobody even gave a shit about the Saturn. All they cared about was the PlayStation 1 and some the Nintendo 64. But, after you've been a fucking game nerd for quite a while, you learn to analyze these trends, and there are times in which these titles are very cheap, and you can definitely get those for a great deal. A lot of the Wii U titles, though, unfortunately, many of them are still up there, but I'm hoping with the launch of the Switch, many more people will be trading in their Wii U stuff, and I'll just simply buy all that stuff. But, let's look back at the original Wii. This is a completely different scenario, but they sold over 100 million units. Most of the shit to come out for it was absolute garbage shovelware. And due to the fact that the install base was so large, so many people had one, and there were so many games, and, if you're lucky enough to buy a large lot off of somebody, you could probably get a great deal, and also in that large lot of titles that you would purchase, there would be a lot of first-party Nintendo games, your Mario Galaxies, your Zeldas, etc. And hell, even right now, if you go to GameStop, original Wii titles like Smash Brothers or, Animal Crossing, City Folk, Mario Galaxy, most of those can be had for under $20. But then if you go to like a new and used store, a lot of Wii titles, you can get them absolutely dirt cheap. For example, let me show you. This is just that's just a few of the titles for the Wii that I got, and pardon the horrible camera work and horrible production values of my video, but I'm pretty knowledgeable about these things, so yeah, get over it. But right now people really don't give a shit about the Wii. Everybody had one. Everybody's mother had one. Everybody's grandmother had one. You get the picture. So odds are there's probably a Wii in the attic of every person's house in the world. So right now is when those games aren't going to get any cheaper. Once the Switch launches, though, I will definitely be keeping an eye on the Wii U titles that are going to be getting rarer. But titles like Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart 8, I've already been securing these things in my collection. Another one you may want to purchase very soon would be Super Mario Maker. That game is absolutely classic, and it has infinite replayability. But like in my previous video, I will not be an early adopter of the Nintendo Switch. I'll have it in the next 6 months, but I will be at GameStop at midnight to pick up Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I can't wait. And I truly hope that Nintendo is able to turn this thing around for the consumer's sake and also for the company's sake. You know, they made a lot of money on the DS. They made a lot of money on the original Wii. I think they, you know, I can almost guarantee that they definitely took a loss on the Wii U. You know, the NES Classic Edition, it's already sold over 1 million units. And part of that is due to the shortage in which I feel that they created. You know, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, just be conscientious when you see these things, or if you're, you know, in addition to checking out GameStop, you know, there's other new and used stores like buybacks. My favorite is called The Exchange. You know, but in addition to that, you know, I like to keep an eye on Walmart.com or something like that. They price match. You know, go to your local Craigslist under video games. But most of the people on Craigslist are just hustlers trying to make a dollar. Sell you a generic Xbox 360 title for $15 when it's something like NBA 2K6. So, but yeah, wonderful thing to do is go on the Facebook buy sell trade groups. You know, and a lot of people are selling stuff, mostly old PlayStation stuff, but 9 out of 10 times their prices are negotiable. And in addition to that, if you go the extra mile and just make a post, write a post on one of these buy sell trade groups saying that you're looking for old games, you know, that you're looking for old Nintendo titles, etc. And you'll be surprised the people that, you know, just visit these groups that are looking to buy stuff, looking to sell stuff. They see your post and then they're like, oh wait, hey, don't I have one of those? So next thing you know, they contact you and you eventually end up getting a good deal. You know, I once bought a GameCube lot. It was a GameCube with the Zelda double pack, which was like $60 value right there. There was a copy of Rogue Leader. I think. Oh, there was one other one. And Mario Kart. How could I forget that one? But I got all that for $25. You know, there are amazing deals to be had, and you can definitely keep your eyes open for those. And if you do have doubles, you know, hold on to those doubles. Maybe trade with a fellow gamer also, or you could just take that back to GameStop, and you can go online, look up their pre-owned values prior to taking your games back there. And you could take that, apply it towards a future release. Like, for example, Breath of the Wild, I didn't pay any money for it. You know, I had some Xbox 360 games that were worth some decent money. I have another friend of mine who was preparing for the Switch launch. He's getting a Nintendo Switch, and everything that paid for that was from doubles. You know what I mean? So, you know, duplicate games, you know. Basically, he didn't pay $1 out of his pocket for a Nintendo Switch. And I'm not doing that for Breath of the Wild either, but that is absolutely the way to do it. If you're a hardcore gamer, you want to build a collection, you know. All it takes is just a little bit of thinking, a little bit of wheeling and dealing, and a little bit of planning, and you could save a lot of money and most times play some of your favorite titles for free. But yeah, you know, in terms of Nintendo collecting, it's really just all about knowing when to actually purchase these things. You know, when you're at the store and you see the section for your favorite console get smaller and smaller, or they move it to the corner of the store, or it's on some like little standee like kiosk thing, that's when you know it's going to be phased out. That's when the prices are good, and that's when it's time to get whatever you can before it disappears. And you know, look back at previous console generations, analyze the trends that you've seen there, you know, and look at the install base of the consoles back then, look at the install base of the modern consoles that you're collecting for now, and pretty soon you'll be able to notice a pattern, and that will give you a better idea of what to buy, when to buy it, and how to go from there. But once again, thank you for tuning in. If there's any videos you'd like to see me discuss, anything gaming, just let me know in the comments section below. Please subscribe, and the more feedback and support I get, the more these videos will be coming. And I promise you I have an infinite amount of knowledge and enthusiasm for the craft, but I do not have an infinite amount of time. So, but God bless you guys.